Do you remember the excitement you felt when you first decided to learn English? You imagined yourself having smooth conversations, watching movies without subtitles, or maybe advancing in your career. But now, years later, you might feel stuck. You've spent hours with textbooks, memorized lists of vocabulary, and studied grammar rules. Yet, when you hear a fast-spoken English sentence or try to express a complex idea, your mind goes blank. That familiar thought returns. I know this word. Why can't I use it? If this sounds like you, please understand. You are not the problem. Millions of dedicated learners share this frustration. The real issue often lies in the method. For decades, we've been taught to treat English like a science subject to dissect it, analyze its rules, and store its parts in separate boxes in our brain. This approach is slow, hard, and frankly, not how our brains are wired to acquire language. There is a better way. A way that feels less like studying and more like absorbing. It's the way you learned your first language. You didn't start with grammar charts. You started by listening intently to the sounds around you. You copied those sounds clumsily at first. You used words to get what you needed. Milk, up, more. You learned through constant, gentle exposure and immediate practical use. You can learn English the same natural way. It's not a magic trick reserved for the talented. It's a set of clear, actionable strategies that work with your brain's innate abilities. The following 3 methods form a powerful system. They target the core skills of language: your mouth and ears, your environment and mind, and your long-term memory. They are simple to understand, but their power is unlocked only through consistent action. Let's move from theory to practice. Let's begin. Method 1. The shadowing technique. Train your mouth and ears to dance. What is it really? Imagine a child following closely behind a parent, stepping exactly where they step. That's shadowing. In language learning, you become the shadow of a native English speaker. You listen to their voice and try to speak simultaneously, lagging just a split second behind. You are not reading aloud. You are not pausing to think. You are creating a direct loop from your ear to your mouth, bypassing the slow translation center in your brain. You become an echo of the authentic sound. Why this works? The science made simple. Your mouth is a complex muscle group. The movements required for Mandarin or Taiwanese Hokkien are deeply familiar. English demands different configurations of your tongue, lips, and jaw. To produce new sounds fluently, you need muscle memory. Shadowing is the workout that builds this memory. Furthermore, English has a distinct musicality. Its rhythm comes from stressing certain words in a sentence, content words like nouns and verbs, and gliding quickly over others. Function words like to, the of. Your brain, tuned to the tones of Chinese, needs to relearn how to process this stress-timed rhythm. Shadowing trains your ear to catch this music, which is the key to both better pronunciation and better listening comprehension. Your step-by-step action plan. With real examples, find your Goldilocks audio. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. Choose a 20 to 30 second clip where you understand roughly 70-80% of the words. Good sources are beginner, dialogues from textbooks like Let's Talk or Interchange, children's story podcasts, Story Nori, or the speaking section of language apps. Intermediate, VOA Learning English, especially the education or science reports. TED-Ed short videos, or monologues from familiar TV characters who speak clearly. Advanced. Segments from NPR's Up First podcast, or BBC, 6-Minute English, but played at 0.75x speed at first. Silent warm-up. Listen only. Play your clip once. Close your eyes. Don't speak. Just try to grasp the main idea. Where does the speaker's voice rise? Maybe for a question? Where does it fall? Notice the feeling. The echo phase. Start small. Play the first sentence only. Pause. Try to say it exactly as you heard it. Focus on the sound, not the meaning. Was the T in water a clear tap, or was it a soft, almost D-like sound, as Americans often say, waiter? Full shadowing, the core practice. Now, play the entire 20 to 30 second clip. Start speaking a half second after the speaker begins. Don't stop, even if you mess up. Let the audio flow, and let your voice flow with it. Your goal is continuity, not perfection. Do this 3 to 5 times with the same clip. The power-up: connect sound to meaning. After shadowing, now look at the transcript. Read it while listening once more. This is where it all clicks. You see the words going to, but you realize you've been saying gonna. You see what do you, but you've been saying what'ya. This conscious connection supercharges your learning. A detailed example in action. Let's take a sentence from a daily life podcast. So, I ended up working from home because the traffic was just unbelievable. What you hear? The connections make it sound like, so I ended up working from home because the traffic was Jews unbelievable. Your shadowing practice. You learn to link ended up smoothly. You soften the G in working, a common feature in natural speech. You copy the contraction cuz for because. You hear how was becomes was in fast speech. You feel the strong stress on unbelievable. You are not analyzing grammar rules about phrasal verbs, ended up, or past continuous tense. You are simply training your speech apparatus to replicate a natural, high-frequency English sentence pattern. What progress will you see? A realistic timeline. After 1 week, the initial awkwardness fades. Your mouth feels less stiff. You might catch yourself naturally using a shadowed rhythm or linking in your own simple sentences. Listening to the same audio source becomes noticeably easier. After 1 month, your pronunciation of common words and endings, n, ed, becomes cleaner. Friends might comment that you sound clearer. You start to hear the individual words in fast speech more easily because you've practiced the reduced forms like gonna, wanna. After 3 months, you have a collection of chunks of language, whole phrases, and sentence melodies that you can pull from effortlessly. Your listening comprehension improves significantly because your brain is now tuned to the natural rhythm and flow. The act of speaking feels more physical and direct, less like a mental translation puzzle. Method 2. Immersion learning. Build your English world, one habit at a time. What is it really? Immersion isn't about moving countries. It's about moving English into your existing life. Your goal is to create a permeable English bubble around your daily routine. Within this bubble, English transitions from a subject you study to a tool you use and an environment you inhabit. It's about creating countless tiny, low-pressure exposures that tell your brain, This language is relevant to my life, right now. Why this works. The science made simple. Your brain is a survival engine. It prioritizes processing information that seems vital to your immediate environment. If you only use English for 45 minutes in a classroom, your brain files it under low priority. But if English is on your phone, in your car, and on your TV, your subconscious brain gets the message. Pay attention. This is important stuff. This passive acquisition is powerful. You start to recognize patterns, guess meanings from context, and develop a feel for what sounds right, just like you did as a child. Your step-by-step action plan: start small, scale up. The digital switch, the easiest win. Change the language setting on your devices. This is a zero-effort, high-reward step. Your phone and computer, switch to English. You'll instantly learn essential tech vocabulary like settings, download, update, privacy, battery, and network. Social media. Change Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter to English. You'll absorb modern informal vocabulary from posts and comments. Why it works. You're using visual memory and habit. You're not studying the word submit. You're clicking the submit button to send a form. The learning is painless and instant. Background listening. The power of passive exposure. Make English the soundtrack to your mundane tasks. During your commute, listen to an English podcast. Don't strain to understand 100%. Aim for 30-50%. The goal is exposure to the sound stream. While cooking or cleaning, play English music, an audiobook, or a familiar TV show in the background. Your brain is still processing the intonation and cadence. Example: you listen to a podcast about productivity while washing dishes. You might not catch every tip, but you repeatedly hear phrases like manage your time, set clear goals, and avoid distractions. These phrases begin to live in your mind. Active leisure time. Learn what you love. This is where immersion becomes fun and personalized. YouTube is your best teacher. Are you a gardener? Watch English gardening tutorials. Into woodworking? Find channels about that. The visual context does half the translation work for you, and your passion drives your desire to understand. The subtitle strategy. Watch movies, shows you love. Cycle your subtitles. Chinese English. None for short scenes. With English subtitles, you connect spoken sounds to their written form, catching words you hear but don't know. Gaming. If you play video games, set the in-game language and audio to English. The interactive nature makes vocabulary memorable. Health, mission, inventory, attack, internal monologue. The ultimate goal. Begin to narrate your life in simple English inside your head. I'm looking for my keys. Where did I put them? Ah, they're on the table. This meeting is long. I need a break. The weather is nice today. I should go for a walk later. Why it works. This breaks the crippling habit of mentally translating from Chinese before speaking. You build a direct pathway between thoughts and English expression, starting with simple, concrete ideas. What progress will you see? A realistic timeline. After 1 week, the English on your phone stops being visual noise and becomes meaningful text. You stop mentally translating menu items like settings. After 1 month, you'll catch and understand common phrases in songs, podcasts, or shows without conscious effort. You might surprise yourself by thinking a simple thought, "I'm hungry," in English first. After 3 months, your listening stamina improves. You can follow the general plot of a TV show with English subtitles without constant strain. You start to acquire vocabulary in clusters related to your hobbies. The language feels less foreign and more like a usable part of your world. Method 3. Spaced repetition and context. Build a bulletproof memory for vocabulary. What is it, really? This is a smart, systematic approach to remembering words and phrases forever. Spaced repetition. It's like a personal trainer for your memory. Instead of cramming 50 words in one night, which you'll forget in a week, SRS shows you a word right at the moment you're about to forget it. Each successful review pushes the next review further into the future, cementing the memory deeply. Context. This is the golden rule. Never learn a lonely word. Words live in sentences, just like people live in homes. A purpose and a structure. Your brain has something to hold on to. Why this works? The science made simple. Our brains are designed to forget unimportant information. The forgetting curve shows a steep drop in memory shortly after learning. Traditional massed repetition, cramming, fights this curve inefficiently. By reviewing just before forgetting, you signal to your brain, "This is important, keep it." Each review strengthens the neural pathway. Context is equally crucial. A word learned in isolation is a fragile fact. A word learned in a sentence is part of a network. It's connected to grammar, to other words, and to a real-world situation. This rich network makes retrieval faster and more reliable. Be your own guide. This is not a quick fix. It is a fundamental shift in how you relate to the English language. There will be days you feel tired and skip practice. That's okay. Progress is not a straight line. The goal is not perfection. It's forward motion. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. When you struggle, remember that every native speaker was once a babbling child, making mistakes and slowly absorbing the language around them. You are not just studying English. You are training a new skill. You are growing the part of your brain that connects with a wider world. You are building bridges to new ideas, cultures, and opportunities. Start today, not tomorrow. Start small. Pick one thing. Shadow one sentence from a textbook dialogue. Change your phone's language to English. Make your first sentence flashcard from a movie subtitle. Your journey to confident, usable English doesn't require a leap of faith. It begins with a single, simple, deliberate step. Take it now.
如果你喜欢今天的故事，别忘了按下赞，让我知道你喜欢这样的英文故事哦。想看更多简单又好懂的英文故事吗？快去看看我的其他影片，跟着故事慢慢变厉害。今天你学到哪个单字或句子最喜欢呢？或者你想看我下一集讲哪个故事，都可以在留言区打卡告诉我，我会看每一则留言哦。别忘了每天来打卡学英文，慢慢你会变得更厉害。